Dungeons & Drimbus is rated R for rude language, rough violence, and raunchy humor.
I do declare, here's what happened previously on Dungeons & Drimbus. The attorneys take off atop the Wyvern on their way to join the soldiers of the solstice until they are attacked by an abomination dragon. A wild fight takes place in the air, with the attorneys and the adventurers banding together to dispatch the creature, with the fight coming to a close as Thomas becomes Bahamut, obliterating the abomination. Everyone safely back on board by the skin of their teeth, they finish their journey to the solstice. The two groups decide to travel together, and they stumble upon a wrecked sand ship with the mark of the Bear Man and a smaller paw next to it. Continuing on their way, they reach the Sandstone Palace, a sprawling palatial structure with bands of people camping outside the walls in preparation for the trials. Gary makes a tower, and Jessica makes a hut for the horses. The group invites the adventurers to stay with them, but decide to approach the challenges individually. As they begin to settle in, none other than Saxon Brunt, along with several younger orcs and one older female orc, addresses the public. Seems like the challenges may be deadly, but promising great rewards. I do declare, Your Honor is back in session.
You all sit from within the tower that Gary summoned, and you see the orcs get up and move out as the ceremony seems to have ended. It takes a bit for him to descend the stairs, but you see one of the 5 young orcs descends the pyramid steps and goes out toward the front gates leading into the compound of the Sandstone Palace. They seem to set up a table there that appears to be where people can go to register, and already you see various people from different tents going to sign up. But you are all in the tower. What's going on?
All right, time to decide who goes and who stays.
Jessica puts her flipper, because she's still disguised, on her nose of her beak, and she goes, nose goes. I'm a little softy, a little soft thing. And I am incredibly nervous about the whole situation.
Oh, I hate to do this, Gabba, but... And she holds a finger up to her nose.
I think I'm going to call Lucky to check in on the prisoners and also see when we might be expecting Kit, because I do think that Kit would be a very strong member of a squadron.
Agreed, that's it.
But I myself, I will be participating, yes.
Yeah, I'll go with you guys.
How many are allowed to go?
I don't think they gave us a limit, Tamis.
There's no limit. Why don't we all just go? Better in numbers, right?
I suppose, but also the thing they said about the compensation being sent to your families makes me think that you either make it all the way through or you die, and that the challenges are supposed to be very demanding of the body.
No, yeah, it is totally like life. You go in, you either make it or you don't.
Gabba, why don't you sit back with me? I don't know if there's desert rat, maybe.
I'm sorry, honey, but I need to join that army so I can get to Calvin.
I don't want to leave you on your own, but also I'm kind of fucked up. It's a very...
Just stay here with,
With me, your best pal.
Anybody else?
Bob is like looking back and forth like this is gonna be really good. Can't wait to see how this goes.
Is anybody else staying behind?
Why don't we all go?
Sorry, hon, but what just happened on air tracking, I can't allow you to go.
Oh, it's just some minor flesh wounds as she brushes off some charred skin.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see any rules against magic, so we could potentially all join, and those of us less weapon inclined and more magic inclined may be able to hold their own, but I was under the impression it was going to be very much like weapon based, but I don't see any rules about magic, so really I'm not sure.
That's a good question. Should someone go and get a rule pamphlet so we know?
That may be a good idea. And God, can I make some kind of investigation check or something to determine if they all seem very much like strength or if they are diverse in their skills?
Give me an investigation check.
Okay. 14.
From what you could tell from like a cursory glance at everyone, it seems like everyone can probably hold their own. Like, you're not seeing any Calvins out in the crowd.
Right.
But you do see a number of people who, like, maybe aren't the beefiest people in the world, you know?
Okay. I don't know. Like I said, I think it is a good idea to go get a rules pamphlet, because if there are no rules against magic, then we may all be able to sign up. But if it is going to be, you know, if you're going head-to-head against someone and you can't use magic and can only use weapons, I do think that some of us should definitely stay behind.
Now, I don't know much about the whole Soldiers of the Solstice thing, but from what I looked up, it tends to be a very secretive process in that I believe they intend for you to be very confident about yourself, and it's sort of an you're all in or you're not in at all. So
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't get much information out of them.
That's fair. And really quickly, our I guess friends, our allies in a separate room of the tower, right? We told them to go to a separate room?
Yeah, they're in the lower floor.
Okay, great. I'm going to kind of pull away and take out my communicator and call Lucky.
Okay, you hear the buzz of the communicator as you call Lucky, and there's no answer.
Okay.
Are you able to communicate with someone on base?
Yeah, can I try to call Selma?
Yep.
Okay.
Hello?
Oh, Selma, it's Viper.
Oh, hello, Viper.
How
can I help you?
Is Lucky on base?
Yes, I believe he just got here not terribly long ago.
Oh, okay,
with
great.
the kid fellow.
Okay, gotcha. I tried to call him and he didn't answer, so I just wanted to make sure that he was safe.
Yes, he said he had something important to speak to Blue about.
Yes, that
He
sounds
may be in
about
the middle
right.
of that.
Right, yes, we have some prisoners that he was sent with. Can you just let him know that at his earliest convenience, if he could just call us and give us an update on what he learned, and also
Certainly.
when Kit may be able to join us again?
Certainly. He should be free in a few minutes, I'm sure.
All right, excellent. All right, thank you, Selma. Just whenever he's available, just have him call me, all right?
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, well, Lucky's on base. We should be hearing from him soon. I do have a feeling that once the moon is in an opportune place, that hopefully Mr. Herrera will be joining us.
Well, you know what? I think as long as you can do the job, they don't care how you do it. So I think magic is fine.
Is there a guy standing there still?
Sorry?
There's that dude that said, "Oh, sign up," right?
That's like out towards the front.
Okay, I'm gonna go out towards the front and talk to him.
I will follow.
Thomas, you march out and you see that there is a pretty long line to sign up.
No, I'm going to cut in front and walk towards the first authority figure I see. Excuse me. I have a question.
You cut in front towards one of the 5 young red orcs that you saw. His defining feature, they all kind of had elaborate pieces of clothing. He wears this kind of fur. It almost looks like a toga. I don't know quite how to describe it. It kind of falls across the body diagonally, but it's made out of what looks to be like a cheetah print fur or something along those lines. And then he wears round spectacles on the tip of his nose, which seem to be crafted from black bone.
That's
so it has
cool.
these horned rims sticking out. But you go and you cut to the front, and what do you say?
Hello. Is magic allowed?
He's in the middle of talking to this guy who appears to be some sort of crocodilian humanoid at the table. Also, it should be noted, they have guards along with him. So he is flanked by 3 guards on either side. And you speak, and the orc just kind of looks up, not quite at you because you're off to his left. He just looks up and he says, "Excuse me?
Is magic allowed?
The rules you need to know will be dispensed as you need them."
Oh, I need them now, please.
Sorry, 1 second. He says to the crocodilian, and he turns to you and he says, "What's your name?"
Paul
Telps.
Telps.
Paul Telps. You're funny. Magic's allowed. We just want to see what you can do.
All right, fair enough. And now I'm gonna push the crocodilian aside and sign my name up.
Why are you like this?
At this point, the crocodilian goes to push you. One of the guards immediately thrusts a spear forward to hold the crocodilian back. And then the orc immediately draws out an ornate golden dagger and stabs it between your metatarsals in your hand, as if to stop your hand. And he says, "You will abide by the rules. If you want to sign up, you will wait in line."
Oh, I thought the rules were given out as I needed them.
Oh my god.
You seem not to be telling me any of the rules here, so what's the story?
Okay, so you're ready to sign up, Paul?
Yeah, Paul's ready to sign up.
All right. So you're signing up as Paul Telps, right?
And company.
Well, where's your company?
Right here! And they're gonna burst out of the door, right?
Nope. No, we don't know. We have no idea. It cuts to inside the tower where we're all just like looking at our nails. So what do you guys think? You guys want like sandwiches?
So I think Uncle
or are we
Dick.
hungry? Like I was gonna do a completely other conversation for comedic effect,
What?
but if we could
Sandwich?
you're
Didn't
hungry.
you eat? You don't need to eat.
I have care for other people around me, believe it or not. Okay, I noticed you all
Barbara, that's
get
just so
hungry.
kind.
You get hungry at a certain time, you know.
Viper went outside, but she is currently in line because she thought that's what Thomas was going to do. And when
right
she saw
here,
that he was
Viper,
going
come
forward-
here.
And she's all the way at the back of the line and be like, Paul, I think we need to wait in line.
It's okay. They're telling us we can sign up.
Paul, you have 2 seconds to make up your mind. Are you getting in line or are you signing up right now? 1, 2.
Fine, I'll get in line. I'll get in line.
Thank you. And he pulls the golden dagger out from between your finger bones.
So scary.
I wave Thomas over.
What the hell are they doing outside?
What are they saying over? I hate when assistants collude.
All right, Paul, I will stay here. Why don't you go inform everyone else what we learned?
I have an idea. Viper, as my senior assistant, I'm going to have you go inside and bring everyone out here so I can tell them what I've learned.
Okay.
All right, break.
And she'll like turn around and just like her palms are like kind of like rigid in fists, but she's just like, okay. It's okay.
We see like tense Viper walking up to the tower, and as you go to open the door actually opens, smacking into you. I imagine your snakes must rear up at this point,
Yeah.
ready to strike, and you see Terry walking out with the adventurers. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's fine. I just need to get
I apologize. I can tell your serpents are upset.
I'm sure that they'll get over it. It's really not. It's not. You're not a problem. You were going to leave. I was going to come in. Where are you going to sign up?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah. Me too. So I'll just go get my team, and then I'll see.
Get a room, lass. And you see Purse just kind of like walks past and goes, all right. And he grabs Terry like by the collar and begins to drag him.
And then Viper will like coax her snakes a little bit and walk in. And now she is tense with red cheeks.
Ah, there you are.
Yes. So our friend Paul went and cut in line to ask a question, almost got himself killed, and magic is allowed. You can use whatever power you need.
Well, now I don't want to be associated with an idiot like that.
It's all right. Does anyone feel differently now that we know that magic is very much allowed?
I generally kind of still feel quite squishy.
All right.
To be honest, lately in my studies, I have not been focusing on combat as, I don't know, I guess I saw myself as having already caused so much violence that I should probably stop violence versus
That's
causing
fair.
it.
I understand.
So,
that.
I think I'm out.
All right. Richard?
I'm in. If my nephew's in, I'm in.
Okay, so you want to leave the dangerous criminal alone with my wife.
I mean, I could come with Gary. I'm not feeling 100% right now, but usually a long rest takes care of that.
No.
Right, Gary, really quickly, your spell. Can't you state specifications of who can enter this tower?
Nope. It's just a tower.
No, that's for tiny hut,
And
I
at this
suppose.
point, Viper, you hear...
Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. And I go and answer.
Viper!
Yes, Lucky, how are you?
Viper, listen to me. You need to remove their chips now!
What?
Blue's going to blow the...
And then the call cuts out.
What the fuck? And Viper's going to freak out, and I guess Barbara's the closest one. Barbara, turn around.
Huh?
Turn around, please.
What's going on?
Because she's a warforged, I can't. I assume that I can see the chip on her.
No, you can't, but you can try and dig in there with a medicine check if you want. I don't know what you're using to get in there.
I was gonna use one of my daggers. Barbara, do you trust me?
Loaded
What the
question.
Oh, we're toast.
Sure? What do you...
All right.
fuck?
This may hurt a little bit, but I think you're in danger.
What is going on?
Lucky said that Blue's going to blow everyone up, so I need to get those chips out of your head as soon as possible.
How many people have chips?
Like everyone except for me.
Someone has to get Thomas.
And Monique begins to run out, like, down the stairs and out the door. Meanwhile, outside, Richard walks up to Thomas and he says, nephew, a beautiful day to be changing the world.
I did so good today, Uncle.
With Bahamut on our side, nothing can stop us.
Nothing at all.
Okay, I would like to try to remove Barbara's chip, please, with my dagger. I know it'll hurt, but I'm gonna try.
Give me a medicine check.
Okay.
With a fucking dagger?
Everyone inside, I bet, loves me.
Oh, they were all singing your praises, nephew.
Oh.
And Monique comes running out the tower. She says, Thomas! Richard, get in here!
What?
You see, they couldn't stand to be without you, Thomas. No, Monique, we're in line.
It's okay, Uncle. I'll stay in line. I'll stay right here.
Oh, God.
Okay, I'll go inside. I'll get them. No, you
good.
both need to get in here right now.
But I've already waited so long in line.
Exactly.
I rolled a non-natural 20.
Okay, Barbara, you feel a dagger jam into the back of your neck, at the base of your skull.
I'm sorry.
Is that how you remove something?
And
Do
as
you
it
have
goes
a better
in,
idea?
You guys hear the panels creaking open as Viper, like, you know where it's placed, but you've never done anything like this. You don't
Right.
even know if this can be done.
I know.
You said it was a non-natural 20, right?
Yes.
You see it. You see there are a bundle of what look like cables or nerves of some sort, kind of covered in this, like, slick, oily goo, and you see the chip lying there. And as you touch daggers with it, it immediately, like, crosses your mind that perhaps anything less than a really good roll on this might just blow it up on contact.
Right.
And so, with incredible dexterity, you slide the tip of the dagger and kind of pincer it with the other like chopsticks,
tip.
and then pull it out, squeeze between the two.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry, Barbara. Here you go. I think we have very
Somebody
little
say
time.
something! Gary, what is happening?
Gary's just looking back and forth with his hands up, like, what the fuck?
Barbara, can you help me try to get it out of Jessica, please?
Can I help you trying to get it out of Jet?
Wait.
Gary?
Oh.
I know you have your own issues, but if I don't get this out of her head, she's going to explode in less than a minute. So I need you to put your pride aside and let me do this, please.
Pride. Oh, yeah. My pride and all the fucking town of people
I'm
that
not
you killed
listening.
have pride too,
I'm not
right?
listening. I'm gonna start trying to,
God, I have a question.
Yes.
So, I'm looking at my spell Etherealness.
Okay.
Ooh.
I step into the border regions of the ethereal plane in the area where it overlaps with your current plane. Now, in a section a little bit further down, you ignore all objects and effects that aren't on the ethereal plane, allowing you to move through objects you perceive on the plane you originated from. Can I take that and ignore the chip and move away from it, leaving it behind in the regular
That's
plane?
really cool.
I'll tell you what. You can give me an Arcana check to cast the spell in such a way that will allow you to specifically, I guess, leave behind the chip.
Okay. I rolled a 2 plus 8 is 10.
Okay, so as everyone's arguing, Gary, you begin to see Jessica just fade away. It's like the meme of the guy who does the peace sign. Jessica, you are like, this is a spell that you have not cast before, so I guess you've been studying it. And so we see Jessica doing like Doctor Strange like hand signals, and you are really focusing on the feeling, which you have at this point kind of tuned out, of this little uncomfortable like kink in your spine almost. And as you begin to fade out, you feel like relief almost for a little bit. And then, as you finish casting the spell, you just know the moment it's done casting that you didn't quite pull it off.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, she's invisible. Chris, block the door.
Okay. She blocks the door, and then you hear Monique banging on it. She goes, "You guys, let me in. What is going on?" And she pushes it open. Grisabeth goes flying. She goes, "Get this out of my head. Get this out of my head right now."
All right.
I think they have lice, Uncle.
No, Thomas, we need to get the chips out of your head right now. Help your uncle.
I guess you shout that out the window, and he goes, "The chips? Oh, we didn't know we had snacks."
Oh my God.
Oh, fuck, the chips! And Richard grabs you and begins to drag you up the stairs.
And instead of using a dagger, I'm gonna take out one of my throwing knives because they're a lot smaller and they're a lot more precise. I'm going up to Monique and I'm going to say, "I'm really sorry."
Yeah, shut up! Get it out of my head!
All right.
And she like sits Richard down in front of her and she goes, "Sorry about it, bitch!" And she pulls out the pen daggers and is gonna like dig into his neck.
That is one way to do it. Okay, that's a 16 for Monique.
Okay, I want to see how Monique does.
Don't. No.
Drama.
Oh no.
Did she roll a 1?
Monique is so anxious. She grabs Richard, plops him down in front of her, pulls out the pen daggers, begins to move them in. As you come in with yours, you manage to actually, you can see it because she's not made of metal.
Yeah.
You can kind of see the bump of where you think the chip is, and you kind of scoot in and grab it like in one like swoop. You're good. However, as the knives go in, Monique's hand kind of twinges just a bit, and I need everyone in the tower to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Is Richard about to fucking blow up?
Oh, no.
I need everyone to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh my God.
Not me, because I'm on the ethereal plane, so I'm safe.
I got a 19.
I have that thing from Ostrogon that I can use as a reaction. Can I grab Grizz and use it?
Grab my uncle.
Well, give me a dexterity saving throw. If you succeed, I'll say that you can pull this off.
Okay.
18.
Natural 20 plus 3. 23.
Okay. You see all of this happening. Gary, you dash toward Grisabeth, who like barely even has time to register what's going on. What do we see you do?
I pick her up with one hand, and the other hand whips out the book, and I look outside the open door 10 feet.
And with Ostrogon's spellbook that Tony brought to you, we just see Gary vanish with Grisabeth. In that instant, we hear Monique go, "Oh, and Richard explodes.
What? Oh my God.
Monique rolls a natural 1 on her saving throw, so she takes double damage. Viper, Barbara, Thomas, you all like kind of get the sense that something's going, and you try to duck out of the way, and you just see this fireball explode within the tower. You all take 9 points of damage with your saving throws.
I'm dead.
9?
I only had 7 left.
Buck, okay. Whose chips are out? Monique's is out.
Barbara's is out.
Jessica still has hers, but Jessica, you're in the ethereal plane. So Jessica, you are seeing all of this happen, but not being affected by it.
In gray.
Yeah, and you just see this fire come blasting at you. Monique takes 38 points of damage as she is shot out of the window and falls into the sand actually next to you, Gary, where you just teleported to. And then Jessica, as the fire clears, you see Barbara's hunkered down, as is Viper, and you see Thomas has been blasted apart and his bones are like lying in a pile on the floor.
Oh my God.
Thomas, please roll a death saving throw.
Oh my God.
And the chip's still in my head, right? So...
Yep.
What? You're a skeleton. I just don't understand.
That's a 9.
Uh-oh.
Okay, please mark down 1 failure. Viper, Barbara, and I guess Jessica, your actions are the most immediately relevant.
Right.
As Richard has exploded.
Fuck.
His blood is all over, but also it has burnt, like, immediately in the explosion. There's not as much gore, like, it was almost too clean in the way it exploded, but you see the body in the blue suit and the brown, like, overcloak just lying in the middle of the room.
Viper is going to get up and turn to Barbara and try, she can't really hear, I don't know if Barbara can hear better, and say, try and stabilize Thomas, I'm gonna try to get the chip out of him, and I'm gonna try to just pick up his skull that is separated from his body, and hopefully, because it's just his skull, I can get a good angle on it.
I will give you advantage on this one.
Okay.
It has begun to beep, and you get the feeling that you are running out of time.
Natural 20.
Natural 20, you
Yes.
remove the chip. You now have 2 chips on you. I don't know what you're doing with them.
I'm gonna try to, I realize that once I do it, and then I'm gonna try to find the window that Monique did not fly out of, and then I'm gonna try to throw him out a window where there's nobody out there.
Okay, yeah, you throw them out and they fall into the sand. Everyone, it should be noted, like Gary, Grisabeth goes, oh, what happened? As you pick yourselves up in the sand, then Monique plops next to you. And everyone turns around to look at the giant tower that just had like fire burst out of the windows.
Get back! And I start dragging Monique away from the tower.
I fucked up.
Get back.
Yeah, you're dragging her and she's like kind of going limp, like she's in shock. Barbara, what were you doing while Viper was pulling the chip?
I was, I guess, trying to put like the bones back to like I'm laying them out, and it's kind of like a puzzle, a skeleton puzzle, and I'm putting bones where I think they should go, and where they would normally attach. I think.
Give me a medicine check.
That's 11.
Thomas, give me a death saving throw.
You got it. That's a 16.
Okay, please mark 1 success. Jessica, finally the smoke clears and you are kind of seeing what's going on. What are you doing?
She has realized it didn't work, saw what's going to possibly happen, and I would like to roll another Arcana check to dismiss the spell, leaving the ethereal plane. Since it came with me, I would like to try to leave it behind as I dismiss it.
Okay, give me the Arcana check.
That's
Okay.
cool.
Okay, it's a 17 this time.
Jessica, you begin to move your hands again. No one sees it actually. You pop in behind them like Batman coming out of the shadows.
Oh my god.
As we just see like little bits of Jessica materializing, starting from like the chest out. And you feel almost like as you rematerialize, you feel that chip beginning to rematerialize in you. And then you feel relief, almost as if you just barely managed to leave it behind.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my. Where did you go? What?
I went to the ethereal plane. It's something that I've been reading about. It's a cool place, but oh my god.
Jessica, is there anything you can do to help Thomas?
I'm gonna try.
Where do the bones go? I don't understand where they go.
Okay, it goes here.
Barbara, give me another medicine check. I'm gonna say Viper's helping you now, so please roll with advantage.
Okay. Well, the first one was a 7. And the second one is an 8.
No.
I'm sorry.
You are arranging the bones. It feels helpless. It feels like this is up to Thomas at this point. As Thomas, please give me another death saving throw.
Oh god, that's a 1. That's a 1. That's a 1.
Nobody's with you. You can lie.
Does a 1 end it? Is that it?
1 is a double failure.
Jessica, what did you want to do?
I was gonna say, Thomas, breathe these vapors.
Oh my god.
It's the only spell that I have.
Why don't you describe that moment to me then?
Viper's like holding Thomas's skull, and Jessica gets down on her knees and presents some purpley black vapors and is like wafting them into the nostrils of Thomas's skull. Breathe them in, Thomas. Breathe them in.
Name a coffee shop after me.
You see the vapors kind of washing over the skull, but it's like washing over an inanimate object.
And she goes, Bahamut, I have seen you now. I have seen what you are capable of. Please, please give just a little bit more to save him? I know he's an ass. I know he can be really complicated and a difficult person, but he's good. He's well-intentioned. Everything that he does, yes, sometimes it can appear self-serving on the outside, but on the inside it has always been for the service of others. I realize that it's funny hearing that from me, but please, don't take him. Take me instead if you have to. I'll trade, it's fine. It's fine.
Thomas, roll a d20.
Okay, that's a 15.
Mark 1 failure instead of 2.
Okay. That's still one more failure, though. Okay.
It definitely is. Gary, Grisabeth is helping you, like, bring Monique, and Monique is, like, kind of, like, trying to stand, but is, like, loose, totally in shock, like, wide-eyed, and she's just going, I fucked up. I fucked up. And you see, like, everyone around you, like, all the people who were in line are staring up at the tower. At this point, the adventurers who were in line see you, and they come running over, and Elvira goes, is she okay? What happened?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on in there.
Oh, shit. Purse, go help them in there. And you see Purse begins to run off towards the tower. She goes, okay, what can we do?
Careful. I don't know. It doesn't look safe. And fuck. Grace, wait here. And I'll go with Purse.
Okay, yeah, you run up with him, and Grisabeth, like, she's cradling Monique across her knee and, like, holding her up as Monique is kind of, like, shaking and, like, looking around. You guys begin to run up to the tower. Meanwhile, in the tower, what are you all doing?
Viper is shaking and beginning to cry. She searches through her bag to try to find the health vials that she bought and realizes that they're all empty because of the dragon fight, and, like, throws them down in frustration, and, like, one of them breaks. She's gonna try another medicine check, but she's trying everything she can do to, like, gently, if she sees a bone that Barbara placed that maybe should be a little more to the left, she'll, like, try to move it. And she's just gonna try to put them back together.
Give me a medicine check with advantage, as I guess, Barbara, I'm assuming you assist in this?
At this point, you're kind of just seeing, like, Barb's movements are just slowing you can tell she's starting to just, like, give up, like, what are we doing here? Like, we just lost one, we're losing another, I don't know.
I just rolled 2 natural 20s.
And so, Viper, you begin to arrange the bones. You find a couple of things that are kind of held out of place. You don't know what else to do beyond setting the bones.
Yeah.
So you're kind of just, like, running your hands over them, like, hoping to feel, like, a flow of energy or something other than just this pile of bones.
Yeah.
As Thomas, the last thing you saw was a flash of fire. This is not the first time this has happened to you.
No.
What happens in your head during this time?
Okay, I'm with Bahamut, right?
You can be if you want to be.
Yes, I don't want to be alone.
You can feel his presence.
Bahamut?
Yes, Thomas.
What just happened?
When you open your eyes, there are going to be some difficult things to see.
What do you mean?
You'll understand, but it's important that you remember everyone who is here with you is here of their own volition. We are all working toward the same thing.
Am I dead?
No. Well, yes, but no. You're going to be fine.
And he looks up with you. Like, you don't see him right now. You're kind of in this void. You see the chains that once held Bahamut are drifting off into, like, a deeper blackness that you can no longer see. And he looks up toward that giant river of light that you remember being in when you died the first time, and he says,
That is where we all return to. But it's our duty to do as much good as we can before we do. It's not your time yet, Thomas, and I am sorry for the things you still have left to endure.
And with that, you open your eyes and see Viper directly above you. Jessica is kind of, like, quietly, like, rocking, like, near your head, and Barbara is, like, by your legs.
Tears are, like, falling into your skull.
I'm drowning.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
And at that point, Gary bursts in with Purse. Gary, you see the charred room, you see the body slumped in the center, and then you see everyone crowded around Thomas.
What happened?
I had to remove your chip.
It's out? You took it out?
I took it out.
Good. Oh, good. What the hell?
Thomas.
What?
Thomas, I didn't get everyone.
Is Jessica okay?
Jessica's fine.
Okay, and Barbara's fine.
Barbara's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. And where's Uncle? Where's my uncle? Where is he? Where is he? I'll go. We gotta get the chip out if we haven't yet.
He's gone, Thomas.
What do you mean, gone? Where did he go? We need to get the chip out right now.
Monique was trying to get the chip out. And she just turns her head to the charred remains. And she, can't say it. I'm so sorry.
What? Why? He. That's not him. That's
him, Thomas.
Why didn't you get it out? I thought you were trying to get it out of everyone. Why didn't we do it
I was, because we were trying to go faster, and I was working on Monique, and so she started working on Richard, and...
Why did they go off in the first place? They weren't supposed to do that.
I know. I have no idea. Lucky just called me and said that Blue was going to start blowing up everybody, so I did as much as I could, but I don't know what's going on up there. The call just shut off. I think there's something terribly wrong happening.
Uncle, he was my only family left. We were gonna avenge my mom and dad. I wasn't alone finally because he was around. I wasn't alone anymore. I don't want to be alone.
You're not alone, and you still can avenge your parents. And now, we can avenge Richard as well.
I'm not alone?
No.
Jessica quietly moves and is right next to Thomas and puts an arm around him.
You're not alone, Thomas. We're here together. And I am so glad that you are alive. And I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry. I feel as though it's my fault.
No, it's not your fault. It's not. Thank you.
Of course. And she just hugs him.
Thank you both.
And at that point, you hear the explosion outside of the tower.
The chips I threw out?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Well, I guess that would have been... would have been you and Monique and Barbara, actually. So...
not the time, Viper, not the time.
Sorry.
Is his jacket okay, at least?
It is. The bright blue suit that he wears and the cloak are fine. The cloak has a little bit of, charring around the hood, but probably the kind of thing that could be cleaned up and, restored.
I'm gonna fold them both and take them with me.
Viper's gonna try to call Lucky again.
Yeah, you call, and it rings a second longer than usual before you hear...
Viper, are you okay?
Most of us are, but we lost Richard.
During this call, Gary's going to storm out.
I don't have much time. They're taking me to a cell.
What happened? What's going on?
I told him about Tyrannicus.
What did you say?
I told him what happened. You remember how paranoid he was?
Yes, of course.
I tried to stop him. I fought him for as long as I could.
Lucky, are we safe?
I think he's going to try and find you.
Oh my god.
He's not mad at you, he just wants them.
That doesn't matter to me. Where's Kit?
I don't know, he got taken away.
Oh my god. Lucky, you stay there as long as you can. Once all of this is done, I am going to get you out of there. I don't know what is going on, but I'm going to find out and I'm going to fix it.
I'm gonna be fine. He trusts me, he's just upset at what I did right now. I can talk him out of it. But them, I don't know how safe they are.
Is anyone else, is it mostly just about what's happened here?
It's just about what happened with Tyrannicus. He's been antsy ever since he let Jessica and all of them go.
Right.
I just need to get through the questioning, I'll be fine. You have a few hours before the moon's overhead, don't you? I think he intends to go seek you out and make sure he sees what happened firsthand.
Oh my god.
You might be able to talk reason into him, but I don't know.
Thank you, Lucky.
Yeah.
Good luck.
You too.
And she's gonna hang up, and she's gonna, stand up and wipe her tears. And she's still shaking, but she's like, okay, so we need to sign up. And we need to do it fast. Because Blue is coming, and I don't know what he'll do when he gets here. So the important thing is we need to stick together, and we cannot let this go.
Thomas is gonna pull out his shadow blade, and I'm gonna say, let him come.
As long as we're prepared and as long as we stay together, there's only so much that can tear us apart now, I think.
We're halfway there. This is the halftime ad with Daddy G.
Hey, sorry, this is gonna be a quick one, folks. I gotta be out of here in, half an hour. What's the rush? Well, Scruffles and I were staring into that washing machine the other day, and I just realized how empty it is around here lately. With Nikki in the hospital, the house feels half empty. Like I'm a sock tumbling in a dryer without my other half. Anyway, so I was convinced to sign up for a dating app. I know. My heart was only half in it at the start, but, you know, it's almost Valentine's Day, and I keep seeing all these chocolates when I go to the pharmacy, and then I got this great match, and we talked on the phone for like half an hour, and we made plans to go hiking. 2.5 miles. Anyways, I'm a bit nervous, but it should be fun. I'm trying to put my best foot forward, so I'm wearing gear from Nikki's favorite shop, drimbus.com/merch. I've got my Florida Man tank top, Drimbus Collection socks, and even my Tony the Pony water bottle. Hydrate or dihydrate, as they say. But it was all reasonably priced, and I get to support my favorite podcast. But I'll let you guys in on a little secret. Patrons of patreon.com/Drimbus don't just get access to free merch, they get limited edition merch, like this signed Yes Chef wall art. I don't want to show off too much, though, considering that was only available for a very limited amount of time to the patrons, so maybe I'll save that in case things go well and we come back here to meet the Scrufflets. Okay, I gotta run. Oh, but first I need a fit check from the patrons. Sending message to Jerry Benetatos, Queso Loco, Greta Beignet, Alex Scapes My Ass, Ace Andrews, Regina Russell, Sam Olivos, Jordan Cobb, The Unnamed Rogue, NB Star, Doubtful Guest, Michael Richters, Davis Walden, Denny Dewdrop, Myth Mouse, Callie Wolf, Brandon M. Bishop, Bridge, Twiglets, Joanna, Stan Sitzman, Scrambles, The Death Dealer, Aaron Adams, Nathan Mesner, Ruth Anados, Carrie Holmes, Melissa Rain, Hensational, Putz Aplenty, Uvular Nutria, Dane Kohlhoff, Loon, Faust the Heavenly Demonic Monster, David Carlton, Lord Braxton Von Wendell III, Tracy Baby, Waffle Marine, Elastic Band, Hoodie Gang, Sheep, Doobie Daddy, Luke Vermin, MV Carr, Chris McGann, Vico Cocorico, Mary Weeg, Alyssa Barron, and Jan. What do you guys think of the socks? Do they match my hiking sandals?
Gary, what do we see as you storm out of the tower?
He passes by Grisabeth.
Gary, what happened?
He just goes, "We're done," and he goes to the front desk.
All right, yeah. The line has started to die. You see a lot of people are very confused, but you also get the feeling that this event is a you mind your own business type of thing. So, like, no one is asking you questions necessarily.
He just sits with Grisabeth. He stares forward in line.
What was all of that about, Gary?
From what I can gather, those idiots don't know what the fuck they're doing. Now we have 2 criminals on the loose, and they killed one of their own. And I'm fucking done with it, Chris. I'm done.
You see Monique is still there. She's started to calm down a little bit, but she's just dead silent.
What do we do then? Gary, we're here.
Well, you're gonna have to wait out here with the horses and leave if there's any trouble. I just would not trust a single one of them. Not one.
So we're not going through with that plan anymore?
No, I'm gonna sign up by myself.
No, Gary, you can't do this by yourself. Let me go with you then. You tell me what to do, and I'll do it, but I don't...
Can't, Grizz, I can't.
I can't send you off into a death trap all by yourself.
Well, I can't lose you.
Well, it's either me or it's your friends, but you're not going by yourself, mister.
Okay. Then we do it together.
Okay?
For Calvin.
Okay.
And he holds her hand and, like, looks forward in line.
She holds your hand, and then she looks back and she goes,
Monique, are you gonna be okay?
and you see Monique is just kind of like rocking and staring into the sand. And the group of adventurers who have stepped out of line, Elvira is still there, so is Terry, as is Rob. And Elvira goes, well, she's in shock. I'll take her into the tower. I'll see if we can't get her settled down. I don't know what's going on, but I'm sorry that happened? ?
Thanks.
And you see Rob actually picks her up, and they begin to walk to the tower to help Monique out.
And Gary's still looking forward the whole time.
Yep. Meanwhile, what do we see inside?
Jessica has had her arm around Thomas. She recognizes the fact that Gary is not there, and Jessica is going to gesture to Barbara and go, like, can you and she's just gonna take Barbara's arm and like put it on Thomas.
Yeah.
I'll be back. And Jessica is gonna like exit the tower to go find Gary because she knows that in these situations he's a bit of a runner.
You step out and you see Gary towards the back of the line with Grisabeth.
She's gonna waddle over in her little Kanku form. Und hello. So and she sees Gary like looking straight ahead and not making eye contact. I know that one of the only reasons that you were around is because there was a certain level of assurances. But I know you, Gary, and I know that you would try to carry on this without us, and I will not let you do this alone. So I'm here to see this through with you. Even if you do not completely trust me, it is better to have me closer, as they say, yeah? So that way you can keep your eye on me. And then Jessica will just stand there and she'll look at Grisabeth and kind of pat her on the shoulder.
Grisabeth is holding Gary's hand, but with the other hand kind of very discreetly as you pat her shoulder, will like squeeze your hand with hers very briefly.
In the tower, Viper, she's just kind of in shock and she's like, Thomas, you definitely need to rest, but are you in? Because I think we should sign up. And I think we should do this.
I'm in.
Barbara?
Seems like we don't really have any other option. So, yeah, I'm in.
All right. Is Monique inside yet?
Monique is down on the first level.
Okay, Viper is going to stand up and begin to exit and see her, and she's not going to say anything, but she's going to go up and hug her.
She kind of like lets you hug her, and then after like a few seconds, very gently puts hands on you.
Monique?
She goes, I'm sorry.
No.
No, I fucked it up.
No, Monique. It's all right.
I didn't...
It's not your fault.
I shouldn't have been so hasty.
It was worrying. The situation was... You needed to act quickly, and you did. Try not to blame yourself. It will only hang heavier on your heart. I understand if you need to take your time and rest here. But I am going to sign up. I need to see this through, and I think right now I need to put my mind on a task that I can control. And I can control how I handle a sword and a dagger.
How many more people?
Sorry?
How many more people is it gonna take?
I don't know.
I just don't know why it has to be us.
'Cause we're capable. And we're willing.
Okay, let's go.
All right. And Viper's going to exit and find Jessica, stand beside her, but say nothing.
Okay. Meanwhile, in the tower, I don't know if Thomas and Barbara are heading out, but on the lower level, we see the group of adventurers kind of checking in with Monique. Are you sure you're going to be okay? Yeah, I just gotta get moving. If I sit down for too long, I'm start thinking about too many things, so. And Monique is gonna head out behind Viper.
Barb is still there with like her hand on Thomas's shoulder, and she's just gonna look at Thomas and say, Thomas, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm just gonna stay here for a second if that's okay.
Yeah, of course. We'll see you out there, and if you want, we can at least do a proper burial. If you would like that, just
Yes, please.
yeah. I'll go tell the rest of the group, and we'll figure that out. And Barb is gonna start like walking out, and she's before she leaves, she's also gonna turn around and be like, also, you're not a bozo. Just for the record, in case you heard of that at any point. Okay.
Barbara,
Yep. Yes.
there was never any doubt in my mind. And secondly, thank you for being my friend.
Like she tilts her head. Like she definitely was not expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
But she will smile, nod a little, and see herself out and meet the rest of the group outside.
Yeah, you meet up, and so Gary, very slowly, the entire party has kind of formed up behind you. Grisabeth, at the very least, is like, there's no way to pretend that you don't know they're there, but she's pretending they're not there. She's just holding her hand.
Just a general note for those that care. At some point, we will be holding a burial. I know there's tension. I think everyone, even outside the party, knows there's tension. I just wanted to say that.
Of course.
Whether it's before or after this whole thing, there will be a burial.
Good. Thank you, Barbara.
And Jessica will take her flipper and wrap it around Barbara's hand that I assume is at her side.
You all wait in line, and as the buzz around you grows increasingly suspicious and kind of awkward, as people look at this very odd group, various collections of creatures and people with the giant stone tower in the desert that occasionally belches flames, you finally make it to the front. And you see the young red orc. He sits there, 3 guards on either side. There is a table. There are now like stacks and stacks of like parchment that you assume are all the different teams that have been signing up. And he looks at you and he goes,
All right. Welcome to the Sandstone Palace. First up, do you understand that the risks posed in the trials for verification as a soldier of the solstice can often be fatal in nature?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. By enlisting, do you agree to see the trials through to their conclusion?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many of you are there? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There are 7. He's not far behind.
I need you all present. I need verbal confirmation from each of you. And
I'm here. I walked out of the doors.
oh, funny man.
I don't smile.
7
Okay.
of us.
So, Mr. Paul, do you understand that the risks posed in the trials for verification as a soldier of the solstice can often be fatal in nature?
Yes.
By enlisting, do you agree to see the trials through to their conclusion?
Yes.
Okay. Please sign your names.
and he slides forward a piece of parchment and then hands over a small golden dagger.
Ah, signing with our blood, eh?
Gary was kind of at the front of our little group thing, so I assume he's the one that'll get it first.
Grisabeth will actually take it first, and she will prick the tip of her finger.
Wait, don't put your real name.
Okay. She signs Angelina.
Gary will take it, prick his finger, and put Eli Geralt Grey Mob.
Viper will step up and prick her finger and sign Lilith Hemlock. I offered Thomas my finger for him to use as a pen.
The orc grabs your hand and says,
Sorry, it needs to be his.
Right, but he doesn't bleed.
He's got marrow.
All right.
Wow, you really want my marrow, don't you? Okay. All right, someone break my arm.
At the first sign of you saying that, he says,
All right, if you insist.
and the orc grabs your hand, like stuffs it through, and then like with the thin dagger, like drills a hole like into the tip of your index finger.
Ow, ow, ow.
There you go.
I'll sign. Here you go.
See, plenty of blood. You see this like white liquid with like red streaks coming out.
It's probably like white crayon on an off-white piece of paper, where like you know it's there, but you can hardly
Yeah.
you can hardly
but
read
there
it.
are like streaks of blood because there are blood vessels within the bone marrow,
Right,
so there's a
right.
little bit.
Yeah.
Bob is going to essentially do something very similar, I guess, and drill a hole into her finger with something with her other finger, and you'll see black ink starts to come out.
Well, that must come in handy.
You know, I actually haven't ever had to do this before, so I'm really happy I get to do it for you all. That was sarcasm. And with that, Barbara's gonna sign on the paper. Something just comes over Barbara, and she's like, there's just been so much trauma, I need to smile. And she's gonna sign Queso Loco on the paper in black ink. And put a little smiley face at the end.
He sees that and he says, Caliente.
Thank you.
Monique will take the dagger. She signs. She signs Madame Tiro.
Oh.
Jessica will carefully take the dagger, go gently towards the illusionary flipper. So it would be her middle finger that gets pricked, and she'll take the flipper, and she's going to sign Peyton Manning.
Nice. Who's going to be Archie?
All right. Your Squadron 203. As an enlistment bonus, you receive 50 gold, and he pulls out a pouch with 50 gold. From here on out, your team will receive 100 gold per completed trial. The first trial begins tomorrow. Any questions?
Is that 100 each?
It's 100 per team. If you think you're strong enough to earn the 100 gold on your own, then you're welcome to enlist on your own.
Und no, very good, yeah. All is well, thank you. And Jessica's gonna take her flipper, put it on Gary's back, and like turn him around and start walking away before Gary gets any ideas.
You do so, and he says, all right, thank you. Next.
And Viper will slowly just walk with the group back towards the tower.
Once we get back to the tower, Bob would like to just look at Thomas and then look at, Richard's body. You can read it. I want to say through her eyes. Would now be an appropriate time to do this? Do you want to do this?
The text scrolls across the screens on the eyes. Would now be an appropriate time.
Now be an appropriate... Oh, no. Let's do it after.
That will be in a couple of days.
You had said that he was basically ash, right?
Yeah, there's no body anyway.
Yeah, Viper has she has an empty potion bottle that she takes out of her pocket and holds to Thomas and is like, he'll be safe in here.
Viper, I'm scared that he died thinking that I didn't need him or want him.
I understand that fear, but your uncle loved you. And he knows you loved him. You both had your own funny little way of showing it, but you understood each other, and he would have done anything for you.
I was very cruel to him in our short time reunited.
I understand. Some people have a strange way of showing their affection towards one another. He was cruel sometimes too.
Right.
But he loved you.
I hope he knows I would have assisted him to the end.
I'm sure he does, Thomas.
Okay. Thank you, Viper.
Of course. And I hold out the potion bottle if you want to take it.
Yeah.
You take the potion bottle and with care, you kind of scoop up what remains and you put the stopper on. And these were smaller vials, so it's relatively easy to carry on your person. You hold on to them, and when you hold on to them, maybe it's your mind, maybe it's not, but it's almost like the feeling you used to get when you would hold on to your book from which you used to draw your energy. You get like that similar feeling holding on to the vial.
As all this is happening, obviously the tower is in a bit of disarray. Jessica is going to go around the tower 1 cubic foot at a time, and she's going to just continuously cast prestidigitation, and she's choosing to instantaneously clean. So she's just, you see her like muttering to herself quietly, and her hands keep waving in like the same pattern as she walks around the room, as she starts to clean the room.
Once she cleans one of the windows, Viper is going to kind of sit in the windowsill, like with one leg kind of outside the tower.
With the desert sunset behind us. Very dramatic, very cinematic.
Yo, if the moon comes around, we're screwed.
As Viper dangles out of the windowsill, we see her sharpening the daggers, milking the snakes. We see Jessica cleaning up. Eventually, the adventurers kind of tentatively come up from the bottom floor and offer you all some dinner.
Thank you, that's very kind.
Gary's gonna refuse. Like, no thanks.
So they offer dinner to whoever will take it, as the tower's looking a lot tidier already. And Viper, you look out. You see the sun has basically all but set, as it is now nighttime, and the moon draws ever closer.
This has been Your Honor. Your Honor features the vocal talents of Nicholas Benetatos as Gary Mogbile, Amanda Fernandez-Acosta as Barbara, Nicholas Palazzo as Thomas Phelps, Michael Pisani as Jessica Feltcher, and Hannah Schooner as Viper. The rest of the world is voiced by your DM, Giancarlo Herrera, with editing by Hannah Schooner and Giancarlo Herrera, and sound design by Giancarlo Herrera. If you'd like to support the show, consider checking out the links in the show notes, or go to patreon.com/Drimbus, where you can get access to hours of bonus content, exclusive merch, the chance to play with the crew, or submit items to the show, or have NPCs named after you. Oh, and don't forget to leave a review or make a post using #Drimbus to be entered for the chance to win a free Dungeons & Drimbus sticker. Thank you all so much for listening, and I do declare we'll see you all next week.